Hello guys, today we are going to make this beautiful shirt dress. Okay, it is not difficult at all. Just watch it patiently. Let's get started. Start with, these are the things you need. You need your body's measurement, you need your scissors, you need ruler, you need tape measure, then you need your fabric, you need some pins and chalks as well. Okay, so to begin with, these are the measurements we are working with for today. Okay, so I went ahead to divide the largest part of the person I'm making this dress for, and that's her hip measurement. Her hip measurement is 41, so I went ahead to divide it into 4. Then I added 3 inches extra to it for sewing as allowance. Okay, this is a dartless shirt, so there's no need to add that allowance and all that. So when I divided my client's hip, I had 10.25. I made it 10.5. Okay, then I added 3 inches extra to it for allowance, making 13.5. So I went ahead to first fold my fabric to cut the back, then I'll use the back to cut the front. Okay, so I wanted this end of the fabric to be at the hem of the dress, so I went ahead to check my fabric to see if it was indeed up to 13.5, and it wasn't up to, so I went ahead to push in a little to get my 13.5. so the length of my client was 40, but I marked 43. Okay, so that I will use 2 inches to turn in my lining. Then I will use 1 inch will serve as the measurement that the sewing will be taken, especially from the shoulder part. Okay, because I'm cutting it on my fabric, so all the measurements, all the allowances should be on the fabric. If it was to be pattern, you can just leave the allowances, then you add them to the fabric, but this time I'm cutting it on the fabric. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut my back pattern, then I'm cutting my front. So my front, I added 4 inches extra for my zip, for my bottom flap. Okay, so by the time I will fold it into 2, I will get 2 inches for my bottom flap. Do you get it? Okay, so like you see me placing, I've placed my back panel on my front, and I went ahead to fold in my bottom flap. Okay, and it is time to input my measurements to draw out my dress. So this place served as my shoulder to shoulder measurements, or my starting point. Yes, that place is serving as my shoulder point. So I went ahead to mark my vertical lines. So I marked my chest line, and I had my chest line by dividing my shoulder to shoulder of the person I'm making the dress for by 2. So her shoulder to shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So I placed my 8 inches as my chest line. Okay, if you don't understand, just look at what I'm doing. My chalk wasn't visible enough, but I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. Then I marked my shoulder to my bust point, and her bust point is 11 inches. So mark like 2 in a different place so that it will be easier to connect. You can't see my markings, but at least you can follow what I'm doing. Okay, so just go ahead to mark the bust point of whomever you are making this for. Okay, then I went ahead to measure my shoulder to waist. And why do I keep saying mine? The dress is not even for me. The shoulder to waist length of my client was 17, so I went ahead to measure my 17 inches. Okay, yeah, like you see me doing. So I have my chest line, I have my bust line, then I have my waist line. Then from the waist line of my client to her hip was 9 inches. Okay, so I went ahead to mark the 9 inches point. Yeah, and I connected it with my straight ruler. How many times have you watched my videos? Don't you like my tutorials? So why are you not subscribing to my channel? Please do so. I'm begging you. And those who have subscribed, those who keep liking my videos, I don't take that for granted at all. I love you all. So I went ahead to divide my shoulder to shoulder measurement into two plus half an inch, making 8.5. Then I placed it. I connected the line to my to my chest line. Okay, so it is time to mark my neck width and my neck depth. Okay, so you can use 3 by 3 like we have been using, since this is a shirt dress, but I use 2.5. okay, I used 2.5, then I came down by 2.5 too for the front neck line. Okay, then for the back neck depth, I just came down by 1 inch and I connected. So that is what I'm about to do. I just marked 1 inch from the shoulder line. I came down by 1 inch. Yes, then I connected it to the 2.5 inch mark I made earlier. So now I have both my back and my front neckline constructed perfectly. It is time to mark the shoulder slope. So for my shoulder slope, I went down by 0.5 inch. I should have gone down by 1 inch, but because I'm marking it directly on my fabric, I just mark 0.5 inch for my shoulder slope, so that I will sew 0.5 inch in. So by the time I will finish sewing, I will still get my 1 inch shoulder slope. Please, do you understand? Okay, great. So I went ahead to divide my armhole line by 2. Then I went in by half an inch for my front armhole open. But this is when I realized that I was doing this cutting on the back piece. Okay, so please, next time when you are doing yours, make sure you are doing the markings on the front part, your front panel, and not your back panel. Okay, because of this, after everything, I still went ahead to to draw my armhole again for the front armhole, then my neck armhole, which was a bit stressful. Not too stressful, but please don't get yourself into trouble. Okay, so it is time to input my circumferences. So I went ahead to divide my bust circumference by 4. Then I placed whatever I had on my bust line and on my chest line, like you see me doing. I'm sure by now you know how to use the tape measure to do your division. So you fold whatever measurement you are working with into 4, and that's your quarter measurement. Okay, so I've marked my bust circumference. I marked the same thing on my chest line. Then I've divided my waist measurement into 4 as well. Then I placed it on my waistline. Okay, it is time to insert my hip circumference too. So I went ahead to divide that one into 4. Then whatever I had, I placed it on my line. Okay, so whatever measurement I had on my hip line, I went ahead to place that same measurement on my hemline, because this is not a fitted dress. Okay, it is not fitted dress. So I went ahead to mark the allowance, but I didn't even use it. I just connected my chest line to my bust to my waist, and that was that. Okay, so just follow what I'm doing. So I've gone ahead to connect my bust to my chest, to my bust, and to my waist, and to my hip. Sorry, please don't get confused, just look at what I'm doing. Then I went ahead to mark my 3 inches allowance on my chest line, on my bust line, then on my waist line. Okay, I forgot that I didn't measure the 3 there, so yeah, I went back to do the right thing. So I added my 3 inches allowance to my waist as well, then I connected. And for my hip, I didn't cut the fabric at all, because it was exactly the measurement I was looking for. Okay, remember we use the hip measurement to fold the fabric. Okay, so I went ahead to cut. Yeah, please like this video. I am begging you, like my video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, so that whenever I upload sewing tutorial, you will be notified. You keep watching my video, but you have not subscribed. Why are you doing that? Please subscribe, okay? And remember, this is part of my beginners online class we are doing. Okay, so if you are interested, you can WhatsApp me and I will add you to the page. I'm doing it for people who haven't sewn before. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, so we are done with the back piece. And about what I told you about the front, because I didn't do my markings on the front panel, I went ahead to input the right measurement for my front neck depth. Remember, it was 2.5. okay, and I've already marked 2 inches, 1 inch. So I went ahead to mark the 1.5, then I connected it to my neckline like so. Yeah, then from my front armhole, to remember, I couldn't go in by half an inch because it was on the back panel, so I did that alteration on the front panel. I came in by half an inch. I connected it to my shoulder slope, then I connected it to my armhole. Yes, my armpits, like you can see me doing. Then I went ahead to trim that half inch off. Okay, this will help you to easily and comfortably swing your arms when you are walking. So just go ahead and do the necessary cuttings. Yes, so I opened my fabric and I notched where my bottom flap would be. I went ahead to cut the excess over there. Then at the hem too, I notched where my bottom flap would end. Then hola, we are done. So I went ahead to cut my lining, my stave. I added my lining to the main dress, and yeah, that's what you can see here. So I've gone ahead to cut my lining. I have lined my dress neatly, like you can see. Okay, so just go ahead and do same, turn it in, and you have very neat dress. It is time to add the stave to our our front piece. So as you can see me, I've gone ahead to slit the front open like this. Okay, so these are my sleeve, and they are 2 inches wide and about 42 inches long. Okay, so just go ahead and add your sleeve to the bottom flap area. Yes, like you see me doing. Iron it perfectly. Ironing is part of sewing, I beg. Make sure you bring your ironing skills here. So I went ahead to fold in half an inch. Okay, so this half an inch will make the work neat. Do you understand? Just look at what I'm doing, okay? And by the time I will finish with this very part, you will understand what I'm saying. So after folding this half an inch in, okay, and you fold it on it again, you realize that the bottom flap will become very neat. Okay, there will be no fringes hovering around. You get my point. Okay, so just do it like this, folding 0.5 inch. Okay, to just it will just help you to turn it in and make your work neat. Okay. All right, so I'm done, and it is time to flip it over. Okay, so just I went ahead to flip it over like I was saying. So yeah, I was trying to show you what I was about to do. So you put it, you see it has become neat. So whether you sew from the front or you sew from inside here, you are not afraid. Your fabric will not be shifting to make your work look unprofessional. Okay, so just go ahead and do same. At this point my iron was too hot. I nearly bent someone's dress. Gosh. Okay, so just follow what I'm doing, and you are going to get it. So after this, I went ahead to join my back piece to my front piece. I used the sewing allowance I added when I was cutting. Okay, so I went ahead to join them. I added my sleeve, I added my collar, then hola, I was done. I didn't do the sleeve and the collar in this video because I have a separate video on how to cut a shirt collar. Okay, so if you want to see that video, I will add the link in the description box. Okay, so you can check there and check out how I cut my collar for this particular dress. Okay, so we are done. You see, it is not difficult at all. Just keep practicing and you are going to get it. It is not difficult. Then hola, there you go, my dress looking sexy. It is not difficult. Practice it.